This is great, Russ. He's a really great performer, and I realized that the goal was to have music that people know word for word. They didn't miss a single song. It was crazy, and I was like, that's what you want to do.
You are now listening to the Connecting Creators podcast. Here we explore the topics and guest stories to better understand how creators think, how they connect with their audience, and ultimately, how they create. Welcome to another episode of the Connecting Creators podcast. Today's guest is an amazing content creator, singer, and is now transitioning into music. With over 800,000 followers and 15 million likes on TikTok, Angela Khoury, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. When you hear 800,000 followers, does that make you take a step back, or are you used to it by now?
I mean, I think when you when you start doing this stuff, you're almost like, I want more.
Yeah.
So all I'm thinking right now is that million.
Mm-hmm.
But I am very it is kind of weird when I'm like, oh my God, 800,000 people give a shit about what I'm doing. It's just crazy.
What made you decide to start creating TikToks?
I just remember wanting to pursue the singing career for a while, and then I went through a bunch of shit the year before COVID, so 2019, and I was like, you know what, I'm done doing things that I don't like to do, and then got locked into COVID, and I was like, I might as well just do full force with this singing thing. Did the TikTok thing, tried it out because it looked fun, and it was really good to me, and I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this.
Yeah. And I noticed that your first video was in 2019. Yes. So did you see the potential in it from the start, or was it just something that people told you to go on to?
I think I saw the potential from the start. As soon as I saw the singing challenges and I sang these songs all the time, I was like, yeah, no, I can make content. Yeah. Which I never thought I was somebody that could make content, because I'm not a social media person. I don't really I wasn't interested in showcasing myself. Then I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
Well, you've done great since then.
Thank you.
What was your initial way of thinking when it came to marketing yourself back in 2019 compared to now? Is it different? Is it similar?
Oh, it's very different. Okay, so before it was just strictly fun. And I was just singing challenges, because that's what I saw and that's what I was good at. So I was like, I'm gonna make all my content about that. And then I was like, no, I think I need to start I think I want to showcase my personality a little bit more when I do these, instead of just making it a 7-second video of me singing. The less I took it seriously, the more fun it was. And with it being more fun, I think that kind of translated through the video. And people like that. People like relatability. People like when just someone's having a good time, People just like to vibe out with other people.
No, definitely. I think it's important that you keep it genuine and authentic too.
Yes, definitely.
Especially because it is a fun app. It's not meant to be super serious.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why we love TikTok, because TikTok actually has that element of just happiness.
Yeah. So I seen there was a video in 2020 that you had where you responded to a comment of somebody saying that your voice was a little bit extra.
Yeah.
How do you deal with negative comments? Do you just take it as criticism and change what you're doing, or you just kind of let it go?
I definitely I kind of ignore it. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't. When someone tells me that my voice is annoying, that's not really helpful or anything. That's just being plain me.
Yeah.
And as someone who has worked really hard on her singing skills, I feel like someone saying that to me really doesn't hurt me, because I'm that's a lie.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But there are some times where I'm like, whoa, are they right? Because I remember one day I had a day where I just got negative comments on my YouTube videos, and it was a random it was on different videos, but it was just negative comments. I was like, hey, am I doing something wrong? And then I was like, no, I don't know what anybody expects me to do. I'm just having a good time.
Yeah, and you're just being yourself. So.
Yeah, and it's not I have crazy equipment to do things perfectly. I'm just this is me set up in my bedroom. I don't know why. So I just was you know what, just gotta brush it off.
While you're working on new music or even just TikToks, does that ever come into the back of your head of okay, maybe I need to tone this down a bit, or just continue to be yourself?
Sometimes I'll rewatch my own videos and I'll be like, I'm so cringy.
It's okay, so, we all go through that.
But people like that. It's weird. I don't know, people like the cringy content.
Yeah.
So I just keep doing it. Yeah.
So I've also noticed that you've covered Ariana Grande more than anyone else.
Yes.
What is it about her music that you like the most?
Oh my god, she's the love of my life. Oh my god, ever since I saw her on Victorious, I was like, that girl needs to make music. Like, because I remember being like in the 2000s and I was just kind of like the music was great, but I was just like, I want like a singer, because like the ones that stood out was like Mariah, Whitney, Celine. And then she popped up and I was like, thank God she's making music. And then I just followed her and her music's just everything that like I love to listen to in one project. So I just kept keeping up with her. Yeah. And she's just continuously like made good music. So I'm like, I'm not gonna stop listening to her. She's fabulous.
No, she definitely has continued to do great music, and I think that's why it's so impressive that you always cover her.
No, thank you.
It's quite difficult to sing like.
She is.
And like you don't just do like, I don't know how to explain it. You do like the whistles too, like you don't just do the singing. Yeah. How did you learn how to do that?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I was like consistently listening to Mariah, Celine, Whitney. Like those were my top 3 because my parents always played them. Yeah. And I was like, wow, like this is singing right here. And I just enjoyed their music, and so I started singing along with them. And so like when I would mess up, I was like, I'm gonna retry it. Yeah. And then like it was a fun hobby for me. But it turned out that I was actually just practicing the whole time. Yeah. Because I was putting in hours, like so much time into just singing that I like, so unconsciously practiced so much so that I've been able to mimic what my favorites do. Yeah. I really wanted to be able to sing like the greats. I was like, if I'm gonna sing, I wouldn't half-ass it. Like I'm just gonna give it everything.
So did you used to do that? Like I don't know if you used to write music or not, but did you do that too, or was it all just about the like covering them and singing?
I would write when I was younger. Okay. They weren't good songs, but I would write, definitely. Music is in the blood. I've loved it. I love every aspect of it. And I would like to perfect as much of it as I can. But right now I think I've put in too much time into the singing, and I feel like now it's time to put it into the music. Yeah. Definitely.
Now I want to get into your relationships that you might have made in the industry. Mm-hmm. What is your biggest challenge that you face as like an up and coming artist trying to make connections
locally, like in Toronto? Making connections here, it's been thankfully easy. Yeah. All because of Charlie though. Okay. Yeah, if it wasn't for Charlie, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing.
Okay, for the people out there that aren't too sure, did you want to let them know who Charlie is?
Yes, so Charlie is my manager. Oh my god, this is so weird, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so DJ Charlie B, he's a DJ.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, as we know, from Toronto. He reached out to me through Instagram and was like, hey, like, I want to start up a label and I love what you're doing. I would love to like just get on a phone call with you. We talked. A few months went by and I was like, okay, I needed his contact, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him a call and hopefully he still wants me. And so when I called him, he was like, yeah, like whenever you want to start, just let me know. And I was like, perfect. And so we started working together. Because of him, I've been able to get into studios. I've been able to meet the people that I've been able to meet. Mm-hmm. It's been a blessing, to be honest. I'm so lucky he found me.
Yeah, that's really good news. I'm happy to hear that for you.
Yes, thank you.
He just released a mixtape project.
He did just drop a project. Yeah, and it's a it's a project for the city. He's just working with a lot of people from the city, rappers. If you love hip hop, check it out. It's across the board.
Definitely.
Charlie's the GOAT.
I also seen that you were in Jacob Hayden's video.
I was.
For acting purposes, not for singing purposes. And you also do a lot of videos with Paige, your friend.
I do.
And she's an actress. Mm-hmm. Do you have any interest in going into acting at some point?
Oh, definitely. Oh my God, I would love to. Working on it right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to do some acting lessons, some classes and stuff. I've always been interested in it. You remember me back in elementary school. I was always in musicals, so I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me tap into that.
Definitely. You guys are both really big on TikTok. Do you guys ever have conversations about like what works on there, what doesn't?
Yeah, all the time.
Could you share that information?
All the time. it's funny because at first we were all like, everybody starts out the same, where everybody's like, oh, I didn't know how to do it. Like, it was really hard to figure out the algorithm. Once you do, it changes. Like, once you figure out what people really like about you, you can incorporate in any like trend. And you're golden. Even when we're not feeling good about the content that we're posting, or we're not doing well as in views or whatever, it's always nice to be able to talk to each other about that part of it too, because it does get exhausting. Sometimes it gets a little like unmotivating. And yeah, so I'm like, it's a great thing to have people that do this around, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So I seen that you were in the studio a few days ago with Jay Isaiah.
Yes.
Are you guys potentially working on anything, or are you just learning anything from each other? What's the scoop there?
Oh my god, that's crazy. How do you know Jay?
I heard his song on the radio in like the fall.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was from Mississauga, or where he's from. So,
Oh my god, he's such a king. I love him. I love working with Jay. We actually have like the best sessions. Sorry, what did you ask me? I was just like, yeah, Jay is awesome.
Okay. No, I was asking if you guys have a potential collaboration in the works.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, we've been working on a lot of music together, which has been really, really fun. He's this whole like creating music and being in the studio with people has been a little difficult for me to like get used to, but every time I'm in a session with Jay, I have the best time. I have like, it's so natural and it's so fun, and Jay's so fucking talented at everything he does, and so yeah, I'm definitely lucky to work with him. Yeah, we got something brewing for sure. I'm excited.
I could definitely hear your two voices working on a song together.
Oh my god, I have to show you something after this.
Okay, then I would be honored to see it.
Yes.
You're new to being in the studio environment with people. What is your like goal this early? Do you just want to like learn from people? Are you trying to go in there and make a point? Is there
okay, well, like when I started doing this music thing, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and learn, because I didn't know anything about this part of the music industry, and I had never done it before. And I think I'm done learning. I think I'm ready to start making a point. And starting to own my sessions, being the boss of my sessions.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what I want to say, what I want the music to sound like. And yeah, I feel good about it now.
That's good. Do you have like a handful of producers that you consistently see?
Definitely.
Or is it like different ones every time?
I mean, different ones every time, but I found a few that I really, really connect with, which is super important.
So now we're going into a segment called Viral Hits, where we explore content creators' biggest TikToks or videos. So we're going to start with two earlier videos that you had.
Okay.
They both reached over 100,000 views, which at the time was a lot.
Yes.
And they were both the Bleeding Love Challenge. I don't know if you remember them that well.
Oh my god, the research, I love it.
So I don't know if you'll remember like what you were feeling when you were making it. Were you trying to make a viral video, or did it just happen?
It just turned out that the challenge was going viral. I think it was over. And I think like the wave had just been over, and then I did it, and then I put the hashtag, and it brought it back, and it actually went wild, and I was like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
And I think that was like my 10th video, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this shit.
It wasn't like the 10 to 15.
Yeah.
After that happened, were you like, okay, I need to change my strategy and like continue to do more trends, or?
Yeah. I was like, okay, it's the trends for me then. Yeah,
I definitely noticed that, because like before that you had videos where it was like, not that they were all over the place in like what you were doing, but just in like the style, like you had some like
just
squares
covers.
and covers and then things like that.
Yeah.
But then when you did that, I noticed you started doing more challenges and all that.
Yes.
So that definitely helped you a lot.
Yes. I noticed the less work I put into the video, the better it did.
Does. I agree, because I feel like a lot of TikTokers, when they just keep it authentic and genuine, and more about the content, then like it does a lot better.
Precisely.
So whenever you and Paige make a video, it does really well. Today I looked, and one of them had 28 million views and the other had 19. Outside of you guys both having large followings, why do you think those perform the best?
Because people like reaction videos.
Yeah.
I noticed that trend does really well, and so I was like, Paige loves my singing.
Yeah.
Let me just try this. So we did it, in the car with the Only Love Can Hurt Like This. That was the 19 million one. And that shit flew. And I was like, and the way it flew, like within 10 minutes was crazy to me. So I was like, okay, this is like the viral moment. So then I'm like, we're going to do this again. And I think what people like too about it is, number one, she's got a great reaction. Like she's my hype man. She makes me feel so good about my voice, which is great. And she's one of the only people that I can sing in front of. I can't sing in front of any of my friends.
Okay.
She's the only one. Like I've just become so comfortable with her now at this point. And so I was like, we should make more videos because like people love seeing two friends just having a good time, you know, just vibing out. Again, with the vibing, people just want to vibe.
That was what I thought you were gonna say. Is that it's just like genuine and it's like a friendly vibe. And especially on TikTok, because if you think about entertainment in general, like so if you watch a YouTube vlog, you're watching it because you want to be part of their friend group or whatever the case is. So it's kind of like you're a fly on the wall in your friend group.
Exactly.
So it's like
Exactly. So I was like, it makes people kind of feel like they're in the car with us singing, having a good time.
Definitely. I felt like I was in the car with you guys. So there you go.
It makes people laugh. I love watching people watch the video because I can see how it works. You know, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad that it makes people feel good. You know.
Definitely. Do you guys do multiple takes of those reactions, or are they just first time?
We do take multiple takes.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah, because sometimes we can't. Like sometimes I'll be singing and I'll go to hit the high note and I'll just burst into laughter because it's just funny. Like, you know, we can't take ourselves seriously all the time. So we do have to take multiple takes.
No, it's all good. How many do you guys do? Like 10 or something roughly?
Yeah, no more than 5 for sure.
So it's still pretty like.
We normally take like maybe like 5, and then it's normally like the third one that just does well, because it's just, I think once you do it a couple times, it's more just more loose, more natural. Yeah,
for sure. You have another one that you did individually.
Yes.
Where you covered "We Belong Together."
Yes.
So this one again was in your car, 8 million views. Why do you think the videos of you in your car do so well?
I don't know.
I've noticed that they seem to do really well.
People, I think it's the lighting, the aesthetic of being in the car, the fact that I'm singing in the car, because that's just something that people do. I really don't know what it is with the cars that people like so much, but
who knows? Maybe they're watching it from a car and it just
but
I don't know.
Do you ever just like look over and you see the person like driving, they're just singing their heart out? Like that's just so relatable. I think
that's a good point.
Translates to anybody.
Yeah, that's a really good point actually. It's because everyone sings in the car at some point.
Yeah.
Or a shower.
And when you see that shit, you're like, go off. You know, like
exactly. When you made it, did you have the feeling of like this is the one, or did it surprise you at how viral that sound went in particular?
I was surprised. Because that song wasn't trending anywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
And I noticed that was the trick, was that you should sing like viral sounds or songs, whatever. But that's like one of my favorite songs, and I was like, it's such a crazy like moment in the song. I'm like, there's no way that people hear this song and they don't want to do exactly what I'm doing in this video. So then I just took the video and I'm like, I'm gonna post it now because now's a good time, and I posted it and it like flew, and I was like, yay.
Was that one overnight or was that over time?
No, that was like within.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I posted it, like in a couple, like 10 minutes.
Damn, that's pretty fast.
Yeah. No, the algorithm is crazy.
I know. It really is. So there's 74,000 videos made using that sound. I wanted to get your take on when you see people pretending that your voice is theirs. Is that like a weird feeling? Or is it like flattery? What is that like?
I mean, I don't mind when people use the sound. I think like the more that people share it, the better for me. So I love that. What is a little bit weird is that some people like will take it and then like try and play off that it really is their voice. Yeah. That's weird for me.
That is weird.
But the people that my followers literally like, I can always find at least one comment that's like, this is not your voice, this is Angela's voice.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shout out to you guys for, keeping everybody in check.
Yeah, I'm sure you get a lot of those because I felt like I'm nowhere near your level on TikTok by any means, but I've had a few videos that were like completely taken from like frame to frame, just like with them, and then people tag them like, oh, that's me, not you.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you get that all the time.
Yeah,
right?
and on TikTok I noticed that there's like this common decency that people just like tag whoever's idea it was that was clearly inspired.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
If it's like very obviously like the original, you should tag the person.
I agree. Although that's not what happens.
Yeah, and that's okay. Never lose your fucking head over that shit, because that's always amazing that people are even using it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of our segment. So we've talked about it a little bit earlier, but now we're going to go more in depth. So I want to hear your transitioning process from covers into songwriting and creating actual music.
All right. Well.
And you can go as in depth as you want.
Well, yeah, so when I first started going into the studio and making music, I realized very quickly that when I sat back and let other people do things, I was never walking away with something that I felt was mine.
Okay.
And when I finished doing a cover, it was weird. I would feel different. I was like, okay, I need to get the same feeling that I'm getting when I'm singing other people's songs when I sing my own.
Oh, okay, wow.
And so it was a struggle for a bit, trying to find, the right people to work with. Now, the experience is a lot different because I feel like now I'm having fun in the studio. Definitely. And I'm not so hung up on like criticizing every single detail anymore. It was like that, and you can hold yourself back by doing that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start having fun and being more in with the making process, because if I'm not, then I'm not gonna walk away with something I like.
Definitely.
And ever since I started being more like in my shit and actually like I'm in everything, right beside the producer being like, try this, oh I want like a song that sounds like this. Now things are like starting to sound like, oh I want to sing these songs, oh I want to record these, because I can see the vision now. And that was the thing, is that you need to figure out the vision, what you want to say, what you want to look like. All of that stuff has to be thought about, which kind of sucks, because an artist nowadays has so many other jobs, so many jobs.
There's a lot for sure.
You have to worry about a lot of things, especially if you don't have a team. It's all you.
Well, yeah, because now, like, for example, back in the day, like, artists were just the singers and their face. Now they're
they were given songs that were already like so well created by people that do that. So like when you do it by yourself, it's a lot. Yeah. And like I can't imagine people that don't have the connections, the struggle of even like getting into a studio.
Do you have like a studio like at home or anything? Or?
I started investing in some stuff, so I definitely have like my own little setup.
Okay, nice.
Which is great, because now I have that, and I think that's what's going to change my creative process now when it comes to making my songs, because I feel like the more things that I know how to do by myself, the more in control I'll feel. The music that I make. For
sure. And you mentioned that now you're kind of just enjoying it. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because in the TikToks that we discussed that did well, they all came from you just having fun and enjoying it. So I feel like that's a good observation that you made for yourself, because I think that'll help you a lot. I noticed like a lot of people do that, like athletes for example, when they're just enjoying it themselves and having a good time, that's when they play at their best.
Exactly.
Do you take time to like, when you listen to music now, do you like listen to song structure, tonalities, things like that? I listen
to it completely differently now.
Okay, yeah.
It's like ruined the process of me. Now when I listen to music, I like stress out.
You're like...
Now I'm like, oh my god, now I need to start writing. Like I just feel bad for not creating something so amazing that I just listened to,
When you write, is it on your phone or
on my
paper?
phone. I have a notebook, my laptop.
Nice.
Right, everywhere.
Do you ever go in there like kind of freestyle and let things flow? Or?
Well, that's what you kind of do to like figure out melodies, is that you just get on the mic and you just start mumbling some shit, You don't even have to be saying anything. Sometimes I've like gone into the booth and I've said like a top line.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh shit, like that sounded good.
Yeah.
And we'll keep it, Sometimes it just happens.
What is your hardest part to write in a song? Like a pre-chorus, a chorus, a verse, a bridge?
No, the hardest for me is the hook.
Yeah?
I can go in on verses. I can go in on like finding the best first melodies. When it comes to hooks, I'm like, holy shit, it has to be somebody that understands notes really well, and knows what sounds good, and or how to make a melody sound pretty. you know the notes to make that.
Yeah, like
you know?
music theory.
I wouldn't. Yeah, and I don't know that, so.
Do you plan on learning that, or is it just?
I mean,
not really.
I hate theory. It's so boring.
I know. I agree.
It would be really helpful.
It would be. All right, so now I want to get into a bit of the marketing of your music.
The fun part.
Do you cover that side, or is that all management?
In terms of music?
Yeah, in terms of like when you're ready to release your projects.
That'll be the team's thing. I think I will definitely try and learn as much as I can when the time comes.
Okay. You're clearly very stylish, and you put a lot of thought into your fashion when it comes to your videos. Is there a particular artist whose fashion sense you try to like replicate?
I try to replicate Aaliyah just a little bit, and with a little hint of that like pretty little girl, you know, light colors, because I really like light colors.
While you're wearing black right now.
While I'm wearing black right now. I actually was gonna buy this in a lilac color. Then I was like, I can wear this in like with everything if I get it in black. So it's the only reason. But I like Ariana Grande's style a lot too. I feel like she definitely, I definitely take a little bit from there. Okay. Some accessories or whatever.
I've definitely seen her rub off on you really? In terms of the fashion sense.
Thanks.
How important is fashion and outfit selection in terms of the image of an artist?
Oh, it's super important because people no longer just care about the music anymore. They care about you. And so like they want to they want, honestly, they kind of need to like everything about you to even like you. So some people like my hair, but then some people, when it's straight, that's when they like me, you know? So it like all varies every time. All that stuff really, like I notice that it really does matter. Yeah, it does. Which is crazy. It's crazy. And it can drive you insane.
No, definitely.
But I try not to fixate on it too much because I'm really, like, I'm surprised that you said that I'm a fashion type person because I am literally like I'm happy in sweats and a sweater every day.
Okay. Well, you don't appear to be that way. So
okay, thank God. I was trying not to.
Okay, good. So along with impacting the artist, how do you think fashion can change the storytelling ability of like an album cover, for example?
I mean, people can just tell what the mood is going to be. Like as soon as they see the cover. Okay. You know, when Doja Cat is like in like galaxy makeup, you're like, oh, this is some spacey like trippy shit I'm about to listen to. And it is, and it's just awesome. You know?
No, I agree with you. One that stands out to me is SZA's Control album, which ironically she just re-released the deluxe.
She did.
I noticed re-listening to it like the last couple months. In her original cover, she has like a denim jacket on, and at the time before the deluxe was released, I seen like the alternate pictures and they didn't pop as much to me. I don't know if that's like a detail I'm just maybe overthinking, but to me it looks like she's like protecting herself from the world in a way, from like an artistic lens. And also just color wise just pops a bit more.
Love that.
When you eventually come up with covers for your projects, are you going to be taking all that into account, or are you just going to show up to a photo shoot?
Oh no, I'm in charge of all of that. I want to be in it because I love it. I love like, number one, love taking photos. Photo shoots are everything for me, and I love themed things, like things I can just dress up for, do crazy makeup with, do crazy hair with. So I'm excited. I already have a couple ideas for what I want to do for cover art.
Can we get like a little teaser or no?
I mean, it has something to do with my hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna go bald?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna chop it all off.
Okay, that would get a lot of attention.
That'd be crazy.
Speaking of SZA, why did you pick The Weeknd by her to perform for your first onstage song?
Oh my God, you want to know something? I just literally like, I love that song. I think I was obsessed with it at the time, and it was really speaking to me at the time. And so yeah, and I think when that came about, I also had just discovered that entire album.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little late on the SZA wave. And I'm happy that I'm educating myself.
Yeah,
she's fabulous.
She's amazing. So yeah, on your Instagram story after that performance, you had a note where you put like you were really nervous to go on stage, and this was like the push that you needed.
Yes.
As someone that's like experienced that performance anxiety before, what did you do to get over that?
Well, that day.
Or over time, that day, whatever you want to answer.
Well, that day, I it was 3 shots of Henny for me.
Okay. That does work.
But now now it's just, I think when it comes, it's weird because when it comes down to singing in front of people that I don't know, when like there's a light shining in my face, I can't see anybody. It's almost like you kind of almost forget. And like everything else is like black and it almost feels like it's just you. Yeah, it's almost like I black out. Like I don't even remember that I'm there, you know?
Yeah.
Which is a great feeling.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you always hear of like artists saying that and you never like get it until it like actually like that's what happens to you. Mm-hmm. But you just gotta do it. Cause just thinking about it, cause like me singing in the studio on a mic in front of people for me is like a lot. Like it's so intimate. That's what
I guess that would be outside of Henny. Do you have like a pre-ritual or anything?
Ooh, no.
Oh, okay.
No, it's literally just like calm the nerves and then just get out there because everything else, like alcohol actually dries out your vocal cords. Okay. And so maybe 1 shot of Hennessy. Yeah. This time, maybe nothing. Yeah. Won't hurt you. But I haven't performed yet in front of people like in a while, so we'll see.
Yeah, I remember in elementary school, you had a hard time with that. I mean, I had a hard time with that myself because I was like performing something on stage too, but I can't sing, so it's not the same. But how did you like self-reflect from those times, or did you just kind of be like, yeah, I'm just a new person now?
No, 100%. I think like there was a lot of regret. Yeah. You know, like I feel like I was like, I mean, everything happens for a reason. I believe in that like wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I do too.
But I should not have been so like worried about what other people were gonna say, because I think that's what it was for me, is that I didn't want to come off like I was someone that was trying too hard, or like I was like looking for attention, even though like in a way you are, but it's just like I just didn't want to be looked at negatively for it, and people do, they make you feel like that for that stuff. So like it was a whole bunch of factors that added into the stage fright, and so looking back at it, seeing the way that I get, you know, the way that it's gone down now, I feel different. I feel a lot different, and I kind of wish that I was singing like when Mr. Thompson tried to put me in front of everybody to sing. I wish I gave it my everything.
Well, you're completely smashing it now. So I want to ask you, now after being on the other side, do you struggle with doubt yourself at certain points? Like, what goes through your head?
Oh, definitely. Okay. Doubting all the time. Okay. Doubting only the like the making of the music. Sometimes I'm just like, maybe I should just get signed to a major label, and then, you know, not have the masters and stuff, like not care about that stuff. But then every time, ultimately, it's not a good idea. You want to, you know, I'd rather just work harder at what I'm trying to do instead of half-assing it because I'm doubting myself. Yeah, that's a good point. I would never want to make a decision because I'm doubting myself. So
okay, no, that's a good point. As a fan, do you prefer shows like concerts or festivals more?
Concerts.
Yeah, why is that?
Festivals is too many people, and festivals also condone ridiculous behavior, and I don't like ridiculous behavior.
That is not, we do not condone that here on the Connected Creators podcast. We do not do that.
I don't like that shit. So
I prefer shows myself. That's why I like artists like Drake and stuff, because they have like a massive catalog, right? So,
you know who else is great?
Who's that?
And I'm only gonna say this because I recently saw his show, Russ.
Yeah, he is really good actually.
He's a really great performer, and I realized that the goal was to have a lot of good music, but to have music that people know word for word. Like every single one of his songs, from start to end, everybody sang every single word. They didn't miss a single song. It was crazy, and I was like, that's what you want to do. You don't want the one track and then like...
Definitely not. Yeah. So you mentioned Russ and how he's got great performances.
Yes.
When you go into the studio, do you think about, I have to perform this song that I'm making, and so you might change a few things? Or do you just create like a song that you like and you're like, okay, I'll just perform it however it comes out?
I love that question. I do think about the performing, of how it sounds when performing, definitely. And I think that's my biggest thing, is like, what do I want? Again, it all comes back to, what do I want to say? What do I, as the artist, want to represent?
Yeah.
You know, in terms of music. And so Yeah. That's the part that I struggle with a lot.
Is that something you haven't thought about?
No. I think about it all the time.
Okay.
With
Yeah.
every single one of my songs. I like have to, especially the one that I showed you too. Like I remember I put that shit in my ears and I was like just listening to it. And I could picture it.
Yeah.
When I can see it easily, then I know it's a good song.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. But I definitely think about that. That's such a great question.
Thank you. I heard Jack Harlow talk about that recently.
Really?
Or when he was working on an older project. He said that when he was doing it, he was trying to like go slow and kind of monotone. And then when he got on stage, he's like, wow, I cannot perform any of these songs.
Yeah.
So then on his next album, they were all like more upbeat performance style.
Yes.
That's why I wanted to ask you if you thought about that already.
Definitely, yeah. Even when it comes down to singing, I'm like, there has to be a moment.
Yeah.
Everything has to be a moment.
Yeah.
All throughout the 3 minutes of a song has to be a moment. And so that's why, like, as a singer, it's different. I realize it's everything. It's the energy, it's things that you're saying, how you're saying them.
Definitely.
It's insane.
Definitely.
There was this ballad that I was working on, and I was like, I have to like rework this because now I'm hearing it in a different way, and I feel like it has to be done this way for it to like really resonate with people.
Well, that's good that you have that mindset early on, because I'm sure that will help you as you go on in your career. So next, I want to talk about your upcoming EP that you're working on.
Yes.
Well, do you have an idea of when it will come out, or is it still very early?
Ooh, it's actually very early in the works. Yeah. Okay. But because like I said, like I'm just now starting to feel like I've got a good team that I'm working with. But yeah, no, it's coming together, and it's coming together so well that I'm excited. I already like want to drop a song, but I can't.
I'm very excited for when it comes out.
I'm glad you're excited. Yeah, I'm gonna take my time, especially for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and all the people listening too.
Exactly. What's
the average time frame that it takes for you to make a song?
Ooh, I mean, it all depends.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends on who I'm working with, how I'm feeling that day. I've made a song within 2 hours. Right? I wrote a song maybe like under an hour one time. Okay. You know, it all varies.
Yeah.
I see people that literally can write a song in like 10-15 minutes. So everybody's different.
Yeah, definitely. Are you hands-on with the production side?
I try to be now a lot.
Like, have you actually like gone on the computer and like plugged things
No,
up? Okay.
But I got like a station, a looping station.
Yeah, okay.
And it's more like for vocals, but I feel like with that I'm able to like I'm able to plug in instruments. I'm trying to figure out how to do it by myself. Definitely want to produce. That's in the cards.
Do you like to use samples? And if so, are you even allowed to use the ones that you work with?
I do. And yes, I am allowed. The ones that I've worked with. But those songs are actually like not coming out. So.
Okay. It's okay. Is there a dream artist or song that you would like to sample at any point in your career?
Yeah, like anything Mariah Carey.
Okay.
Anything Mariah Carey, I would love to.
That's gonna be a lot of money, but
she would never give it to me. She would never. I really like the 1920s sound.
1920s, okay.
Yeah, there was a song that recently popped up, and I was obsessed with it, and so I just Googled and I kept it for like whenever I'm gonna use it. And I'm like currently going through her discography.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on Spotify or no?
Yeah,
okay,
it is.
really?
Spotify has everything.
Yeah, they do.
Spotify.
I didn't know they would have people from the 1920s, so that's...
Isn't that crazy?
I don't even know how you would convert that into it.
Crazy?
That's so crazy. Well, Angela, you've been an amazing guest.
Thank you for having me, Steven.
I am hoping that in the future, when you become bigger, you'll come back on the show.
Of course.
And I'm excited to see where your career goes. And I'm looking forward to hearing your EP when it finally drops. Thank you for being a great guest.
Thanks for being such a great host.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So let them know where they can follow the rest of your music journey.
Okay. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Angela Khoury, KHOURY_. So there's 2 Y's, and he'll probably put it somewhere beside me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the description. So.
Oh, okay, nowhere beside me.
No, it'll be under the video in the description. Go check her out. Her EP will be out at some point.
Yes, get ready for that.
All right, thank you guys for watching and tuning in, and take care.
Bye.